Welcome, deep divers. We're diving headfirst today into a political development out of New York City.
hmm
It's really more than just a headline. If you're someone who loves to understand the currents shaping our major cities, well, this deep dive is definitely for you.
Absolutely.
We're zeroing in on Zoran Mamdani's claimed victory in the NYC Democratic mayoral primary.
Right?
The big question, the one we really want to explore, is, okay, let's unpack this. What exactly happened here? And, why does it matter beyond just the win itself?
Well, the immediate news, the thing that really shook things up, is indeed that Zoran Mamdani, he's a 33-year-old Democratic socialist, has declared victory.
In the New York City Democratic mayoral primary.
Exactly. And this came after Andrew Cuomo, who's obviously a major political figure, conceded the race.
That concession is notable.
It really is. It was a primary. Many were watching very closely. And I think the outcome for a lot of people was, well, pretty unexpected, especially given the political establishment that's, long held sway in New York.
That's a striking development, absolutely. But for our deep dive, the real significance often lies a bit deeper than the immediate result. What, in your view, makes Mamdani's victory? What makes it so much more than just another election outcome? What might someone miss if they just glance at the headline?
That's a great question. Because what's truly fascinating here, if you look beyond the surface, is the historical weight, the significance that comes with Mamdani's victory.
Okay.
I mean, if he is ultimately elected mayor, he would become New York City's first Muslim mayor and the first Indian-American mayor, too.
Wow. Okay. That's huge.
It really is. And it isn't just symbolic,
Mhm.
It reflects, I think, a really profound demographic shift and maybe an ideological one, too.
So, Democratic Socialist platform.
Right.
What does that look like in this context?
Well, his platform, as our sources point out, it's really rooted in concepts like universal services, strong tenant protections, big investments in public transit expansion.
Things that resonate, presumably.
Exactly. Policies that often deeply resonate with and are championed by the city's diverse populations, often working-class communities. You see, the sources really stress this wasn't some overnight thing.
Right.
His campaign was apparently built largely on grassroots organizing, lots of direct community engagement, tapping into a progressive energy that's clearly been building in parts of the city.
Okay, so that's a powerful mix. Historic identity and a distinct political ideology fueled by grassroots work.
Precisely.
So let's bring this back to you, the listener. Someone trying to stay well-informed about these political shifts, the changing demographics in big cities. What does this specific event actually mean?
Yeah.
How do we connect this New York primary to the sort of bigger story of urban leadership across the U.S.?
Right. Well, if we connect the dots to that bigger picture, Mamdani's victory, it really spotlights a broader trend. It's about how representation in city leadership is evolving. It just highlights how the demographics of major cities are changing, right? And with that, naturally, so are the faces, the backgrounds of the people seeking to lead them. And crucially, this isn't just about identity politics, though that's part of it. It's very much about shifting policy priorities.
Okay, policy. Explain that connection.
Well, think about it. A leader with a democratic socialist platform. They might prioritize different issues entirely or tackle existing ones like housing or transit from a completely different angle.
So maybe more focus on social safety nets, housing affordability, workers' rights.
Exactly, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And that could significantly impact the day-to-day lives of New Yorkers, sure, but also potentially set precedents,
Precedents for other cities dealing with similar affordability crises or transit issues.
Precisely. It signals a potential ideological realignment within the Democratic Party, at least in major urban centers. It suggests these progressive grassroots platforms are gaining real traction, finding footing among maybe newly empowered voter blocs.
Absolutely. So it's about recognizing the facts of this win, understanding the specific platform Mamdani represents, and then thinking about what it could mean for policy, for community engagement down the line.
Yeah.
It feels like more than just a political race. It could be a marker, maybe, of changing times in cities across the country, highlighting how the very identity, the very feel of these places might be reshaped.
And that really raises an important question, something for you listening to consider. How might similar shifts in leadership continue to reshape urban environments elsewhere in the country? Especially as we see this ongoing diversification, these evolving political ideologies taking root in our major cities. Are we perhaps witnessing a kind of blueprint for the next wave of urban leaders?
That's a great thought to leave you with, Zoran Mamdani's primary victory. It certainly marks a potentially transformative moment for New York City's leadership.
No question.
And it's definitely a development worth watching closely to see how it all plays out, not just in NYC, but in that wider landscape of American cities.